If you're a US investor, failing to understand what this number means for crypto in the next 72 hours could literally cost you years of potential gains. So what is it? Well, that 78% is the probability of a US government shutdown this week. But here's the twist. While Washington is grinding to a halt, the CEO of a top 10 global bank just pulled Brian Armstrong aside and told him crypto is their #1 priority.
You see the disconnect here? There's the political chaos, and then there's the real institutional signal. This explainer is your intelligence briefing to cut through that noise, navigate the immediate threat, and get positioned for the massive wave that's coming right after.
All right, let's dive right in. Section 1, Washington's crypto standoff and the very real imminent threat to your portfolio.
At the very center of this whole mess is something called the Clarity Act. Make no mistake, this is the single most important piece of crypto legislation in the United States. Its entire goal is to stop this ridiculous regulation by lawsuit game and finally give everyone a clear set of rules to play by.
Now here's the chain reaction you need to watch. If the government shuts down, that Clarity Act gets delayed. And look, this isn't just a one-week problem. With key figures like Senator Schumer digging in their heels, this could shove any hope for clear rules past the midterms. We could be talking about the entire US crypto industry being stuck in limbo for years.
And this timeline just shows you how insane the timing is. This is a full-on collision course. We've got the Clarity Act markup, a landmark meeting between the SEC and the CFTC, and the government funding deadline, all happening within hours of each other. It's an incredibly volatile situation.
Look, this whole thing is moving so fast it's changing by the hour. To get our intel the second it breaks, you absolutely have to be in our private Telegram. Scan the QR code on your screen right now or hit the link in the description. Do not get caught flat-footed on this.
Now for Section 2. Because while Washington is completely consumed by its own drama, the real signal is coming out of Davos. And this is the powerful tailwind that Washington literally can't stop.
Just forget the political theater for 1 second and let this quote sink in. This isn't some crypto evangelist. This is the CEO of a top 10 global bank telling the head of Coinbase that crypto is their #1 strategic priority. This is the real story. And what Brian Armstrong learned at Davos shows this wave is building on multiple fronts. First, tokenization is no longer a buzzword. It's becoming standard procedure for every asset class out there. Second, AI agents are probably going to default to using stablecoins because, well, they can't be KYC'd, have their identity verified through old-school banks. And finally, the big global banks are now in an all-out race to make crypto their core focus. This is where the real money is going, no matter what Congress does this week.
This is the kind of alpha you will not get anywhere else. For more intel like this from Crypto Global News, you need to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you are never late to a critical update. Seriously, do it right now.
Which brings us to Section 3, regulation at a crossroads. You've got these two powerful opposing forces, and the entire market is stuck right in the middle of this tug-of-war.
But it's not all bad news coming out of DC. Even with the shutdown threat, there are some really positive things happening under the surface. That huge meeting between the heads of the SEC and CFTC, it's been rescheduled for January 29th. And this is a big one. A really controversial amendment that was holding up the entire crypto bill has now been withdrawn. A major roadblock just got cleared. So even with all the drama, real progress is being made behind the scenes.
So what do you think? What's the most likely outcome of this huge SEC and CFTC meeting? I really want to see your analysis. Drop your best take in the community post for this explainer. Let's get a discussion going.
Okay, let's pull all this together and make it actionable. Section 4. This is your action plan, your key intel for the next 72 hours. First, let's ground ourselves in reality. The stakes here are absolutely massive. We're talking about a total market cap hovering around $1.7 trillion. This isn't a game, it's a significant global asset class about to go through a major shakeup.
All right, here is your immediate watch list. First, the government shutdown deadline. That's January 30th. Second, the SEC/CFTC meeting, January 29th at 2 p.m. Eastern. Keep your eyes on any statements from Senator Schumer and from Eleanor Terrett, who's moderating that meeting. And for our U.S. viewers, I'm talking directly to you. Here is your action item. Review your portfolio's regulatory risk tonight. Ask yourself, are you overexposed to assets caught right in the crossfire of this political battle?
But that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question. With Washington in a total deadlock, what single state-level action is already happening that could make all of this federal drama completely irrelevant?
The answer to that question could completely change your entire investment thesis for 2026. We break it all down in our next intelligence briefing. But before you go, check out this video right here on
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.